Hi. So today's video is about mindset. So we often hear that mindset, what we create in life is, the majority of the success comes from our mindset. And very often when you talk to people who are very inspiring and very successful in a way that, we define success, we do find in general that the mindset plays a big part in their journey. So let's talk about mindset from a neuroscience perspective. We often hear about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And basically, the way it works is that our conscious mind might be trying to create something, but if in the subconscious we have a programming that's been embedded from our childhood or from later moments in our life that were quite marked by us, then that could get sabotaged. Basically, the subconscious mind could sabotage any efforts that we're making on a conscious basis to create a certain result. So this is how it works. We have a primitive part of our brain. It's actually two parts, but this part of the brain is in charge of our emotions, and our basic survival, breathing, digestion. So it's a very survival brain. And that survival brain has a record of every experience that we've had and every emotion that we felt. It's all stored in that brain, in that part of the brain, those parts of the brain. Now, the newer part of the brain, the neocortex, the frontal lobes, the part that is in charge of our decision making, it's a brain that learns. It's a brain that is able to empathize, because in our more primitive brain, the emotions can tend to be quite selfish and quite survival orientated. So the neocortex is in charge of decision making, of executive thinking. It's a brain that allows us to grow as human beings. So say that we are trying to create something. Okay, let me put it this way. We are today where our thoughts have brought us. So everything that's stored in here is basically the result of our life today. The result of our life today is our thoughts and our beliefs and our feelings. And in order to create what we want, we have to make sure that the record supports that. So if we have conflicting beliefs, or if we have, things that are not in accordance with what we want to create, it's going to get blocked. And the good news for us is that we get to choose what's going to go in and what that brain is going to help us deliver. So as we decide on our goals, so the first thing is, of course, to get super clear on what it is that we're wanting to create. That has got to be crystal clear, because the messages cannot be confusing to the mind. We can't be thinking that we want to run a global empire and at the same time we want to, work for 20 minutes a day. They don't go together. They can't support, these two things cannot support each other. So we've got to know what it is that we want to create, and then we've got to get all of our brain power behind us for that creation. So here we get to decide on the thoughts that are going to go in and be embedded, because thoughts on a repeated basis will eventually make it into the subconscious part of our mind, which can then orchestrate events and things to happen, because it has acute sense of noticing what is important to us. So the part of our brain that neuroscience thought was totally passive and have now discovered that it is actually a very active part, the thalamus part, can be given instructions. So the way to do this is my other videos, I've talked about affirmations, I've talked about creative visualization, basically putting the images into our mind, putting the words, the affirmation words to support, and the good news with some of that, with the affirmations, for instance, is we don't even have to believe them. We can just repeat them until they've been taken into the subconscious. So the way we do that is we find the mindset that would support what it is we want to create. We begin to get very clear on that state of mind. And then we get into it. So what we do is we 5 minutes a day, but repeated on a regular basis. Like I said in previous videos, we can't do this work, on Sunday and then revisit it the next Sunday. It really has to be daily repetition because this is how the brain works. So for a mindset reprogramming, beginning to feel the result of our goals, like what would our goals feel like? And to celebrate that for a few minutes. So we're marking the subconscious mind with the feeling of what would it feel like to celebrate that. And doing that on a repeated day-by-day basis means that what's going in as messaging is a success, the success that we've already seen, the success that we're already thanking life for, the success that we're already feeling. And that will be what the now primitive survival brain goes in search of to make happen, to make sure that we're not missing this message here or that message there, or this possible encounter that if we were not instructing it, we might just bypass because it wouldn't have deemed that to be of superior importance. But now it has a messaging of the success that we're wanting to create, and it's feeling it. And because there is no distinction in this mind, whatever instruction you give it, it will deliver on. So basically, once you've made it clear what the instruction is, you've set it to work, you've given it a focus, you've put the mindset with the goal so that there's no sabotaging, there's no self-sabotaging that's happening without your conscious awareness. The conscious brain is taking in the information and being very vigilant of any thoughts and feelings that do not match that, because we have to watch that. It's like a garden. You're going to weed out the weeds, and you're going to make sure that your soil is clean and pure and ready to allow the blossoms. So it's the same way. You're going to weed out the thoughts and the feelings that don't match, and you're going to keep steering it back in the direction of the feeling of what you want. And as you do that more and more, that is the messaging that is now becoming. So this is now being built up in terms of memory as well, so that the delivery can be on that and not just on past experiences and what's happened before and lousy feelings you had before and lousy results you might have had before. But this is about the creation from now going forwards, and there is a period. It could take 30 days if it's not very deeply embedded in your subconscious. But if it is, then you're looking at maybe the full 90-day cycle. So you have to just keep going. You keep going until you get the results that you want. It's very powerful stuff. It's amazing what we're learning about the brain, and it's amazing what we now can incorporate in our daily life. And my goal, my mission, my dream is that this messaging reaches children so that we might begin our life knowing this, and knowing how important our mindset is, and knowing that we have the option to reprogram our mind and to create from this point onwards, and how powerful a life we might lead. Because as we proceed to our goals and reach the success that we want to reach, and I have to repeat here, I have to reiterate here that success is a very individual definition. So for someone, success might be to be in a beautiful cabin in the forest and to write poetry all day, and that might be their dream, and for someone else it might be being at every Red Cross ball across town. That might be their dream, and the dream for one would be the other one's nightmare. So success is very individual. But as long as the success is on our terms and it is the success that we have consciously desired and that we then get to create, then what we're looking at is a world of happy people who go on to contribute to a happier world. Because when we create success from a conscious place, it's a meaningful success, and it's a success that matches our whole being. And it's not the success where we reach the point where we have all the material things and then we're kind of wondering what it's all about. This is like we're talking about success that is conscious, that has a mission behind it, that has a goal that is soul-centered, that is coming from the inside of us, and where we know that we are filling the piece of the puzzle that contributes to this entire universe, and that our bit is being filled, and our bit is so individual to our experiences, our talents, our passions, our curiosities. It is so individual. And this is why, sometimes when people say, oh, but this has already been done, oh, but this has already been written, oh, but no, the way you will write it, the way you will do it, the way you will create it will be different, and it will reach a different audience. And that is the bit where our contribution matters, and every single person pursuing goals that come from that place will have the support of life to create what needs to be created, and to then use that to contribute the best that is within each one of us. So I honor you for taking the time to watch these kind of videos and for being open. And from what I have observed and what I have learned, people who achieve success on their own terms do it by being open-minded and by being curious and by wanting to learn new strategies and new ways, and basically not taking no for an answer, just trying to get there one way or another. And I think, as we get interested in the brain and the discoveries of the brain, we get to create our world our way, and then we get to share it with the children in our world and with all those around us, essentially. So with this, I leave you. I'm now starting to post different visualizations, basically according to different themes. If someone is looking for visualizations for health issues, if someone's looking for visualizations for abundance, so they are all coming through on the site. And so keep an eye on the website and ranialababidy.com. And as you subscribe to the newsletters, and you will get welcome visualizations and affirmations and all sorts of goodies. So as you join us, you will be receiving those from directly from us, and with lots more goodies to come as well. So please do come on over and sign up. And if you have any questions, and as you begin the orchestration of your wonderful reality, please share comments. I love to hear how this is going, and if you have other strategies that have worked in the past where you've maybe done some of this without even realizing the neuroscience behind it, please share, because it's so encouraging for all of us to read stories of success and how they've come about. So please join us in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel, share these videos with anyone else who you think might benefit, and see you on the next video. Bye!